When something is repeated too many times, it can become boring. And if something is overused or used inappropriately, it can become a cliché. A cliché is a phrase or idea that has been used so often that it has lost its originality and impact. Clichés are a common feature of anime, which often rely on familiar tropes and formulas to tell their stories. But there are some anime clichés that have outstayed their welcome and need to be retired. It's time to take a look at 6 anime clichés that have outstayed their welcome. When an anime starts with a sad scene, the viewer is naturally curious about what led to this point and how the characters got here. Backstories are a great way for anime to develop their characters and world. However, like most things in life, too much of a good thing can turn bad very quickly. In an effort to save time, many anime opt to show flashbacks instead of actually developing these scenes within the story. Instead of letting the story breathe and develop naturally, flashbacks cram a lot of exposition into a few minutes, forcing the audience to absorb large amounts of information all at once. This can be jarring and overwhelming, especially if the flashbacks are poorly timed or executed. The use of flashbacks to convey backstories can also be lazy writing. This doesn't allow the audience to experience the story from the character's perspective, nor does it allow the character to grow and change. The use of flashbacks in Attack on Titan is a prime example of bad use of backstory. During the best part of a season, the anime frequently interrupts the present storyline to show the audience the origins of one character. If the story had focused on developing this character within the main plot, it would have been much more effective. Another cliché that needs to retire is the over-reliance on fan service. Fan service refers to any scene that is intended to appeal to the fans of the series, usually by showing something that is considered titillating or exciting. While fan service can be fun and entertaining in moderation, when it is done excessively or inappropriately, it can become annoying and distracting. Overuse of fan service can also make the audience feel like the creators are pandering to them rather than trying to tell a good story. It can also make the audience feel like the characters are being exploited for the sake of cheap thrills. When fan service is used excessively, it can also become a crutch for lazy writing. Instead of developing the plot or characters, the creators are relying on the audience's excitement to carry the series. While the series started off as a decent eki series, it quickly became overrun with fan service. It was clear that the creators were trying too hard to shock the audience, and this resulted in a series that was more interested in titillating its fans than telling a good story. While the above two are pretty common, this next one is pretty unique. When a series begins with a main character who is exceptionally skilled in their field, it can be easy to assume that they will continue to be exceptional throughout the series. However, when this expectation is subverted and the character turns out to be weak or incompetent, it can be incredibly jarring for the audience. This subversion of expectations can be effective if done well, but when it is done poorly, it can come across as forced or contrived. Additionally, when a series sets up a character as being competent and then suddenly reveals them to be weak or unskilled, this lack of consistency can break the audience as suspension of disbelief and make it hard to take the story seriously. A series that is guilty of this is To Be Heroine. The main character, Haim, is introduced as a powerful esper, but as the series progresses, she is shown to be weak and useless. This subversion of expectations was not done well, and it made the audience question the logic of the world. There are a lot of anime that feature characters who are emotionless or lack empathy. While this may be intentional on the part of the creators in order to explore themes of humanity or the nature of emotions, this trope has become overused and predictable. When an anime features a character who is emotionless or lacks empathy, the audience may become bored or desensitized to their actions. This can make it hard for the audience to connect with the character or care about their journey. This can make it hard for the audience to be surprised by anything that happens in the story and can make the anime feel stale and unoriginal. An anime that has used this cliché is Future Diary. The main character, Yukateru, is emotionless and lacks empathy, and he uses this to manipulate those around him. While this may have been an interesting concept to explore, another trope that needs to die is the overpowered protagonist who defeats all enemies without any real challenge. While this may seem like a fun concept, where the main character is basically a god among men, this trope can become boring and predictable very quickly. When a series features a protagonist who is too powerful, it can be difficult for the audience to invest in the story. If the protagonist can defeat any enemy or overcome any obstacle with ease, then there is no real sense of danger or suspense in the story. This can make it hard for the audience to care about what happens to the character or root for their success. Additionally, when a series features a protagonist who is too powerful, it can make the world of the story feel flat and uninteresting. If the protagonist is so powerful that they can defeat anyone or anything, then there is no real sense of wonder or adventure in the story. This can make it hard for the audience to be invested in the world of the story or care about the characters who inhabit it. A perfect example of this is in the anime, The Misfit of Demon King Academy, where the main character is ridiculously overpowered. He's able to defeat any enemy with ease, and there is no real sense of danger or suspense in the story. This makes it hard to care about what happens to the character or root for their success. Last but not least is another very common one, the damsel in distress. This trope is when a female character is put in a situation where she needs help from a male character. This can be done for a variety of reasons. Sometimes it is used to make the male character seem more heroic. Other times it is used to make the female character seem helpless and in need of protection. Whatever the reason, this trope has become tired, and it is not appealing to modern audiences. When a series features a damsel in distress, it can send the message that women are helpless and need to be saved by men. This can be off-putting to modern audiences who want to see strong, independent female characters. Additionally, when a series features a damsel in distress, if women are portrayed as being too weak or helpless to handle themselves, then the world of the story feels like it is not a realistic representation of the real world. This can make it hard for the audience to believe in the story or care about the characters who inhabit it. A great example of this is in the anime Sword Art Online. In one arc, the main character finds a girl who has been trapped in a cave for 2 years. He rescues her, and she becomes a damsel in distress. She is helpless and needs to be taken care of by the male characters. These are just a few of the many anime that have outstayed their welcome. Are a natural part of storytelling, but when they are overused or used inappropriately, they can become annoying and predictable. Hopefully, anime creators will continue to experiment with new tropes, and so that we can enjoy fresh, exciting stories for years to come. If you think there are other that need to retire, let us know in the comments below.